All right, well, welcome everyone. This is our Choose Columbia County Business Boosters class number 3. We are featuring Sarah McGill with the real Sarah. These classes and the 9 more classes following it are all a product of the Washington State Micro Enterprise Association grant that the Port received prior to me getting here, but I get to administer it. So, and with the help of Choose Columbia County and the Port of Columbia. I didn't say, my name is Shane Live. I'm the Economic Development Coordinator. So I'm responsible for economic development, helping grow businesses, helping retain businesses, fight off vacant buildings downtown, or at the port, or wherever our port properties are. So that's what I do in a nutshell, plus events. We have lots of stuff coming up. So next week, Sarah will be back for session number 4. And then following that, we have classes on artificial intelligence. We have a business boot camp coming up, which is an all-day event. So it'll be from 9 to 4 at the fairgrounds. We do ask that you register for that. I'll be sending that out probably beginning of next week. So there's food involved in that, so we have to have a good food count. But it's by John Schallert. He's a nationally known business consultant who will come in and help you with your business. So we'll have a session all day up till noon. From 1 to 2, I think we're doing roundtables. And then from 2 to 4, he will meet with you independently and be prepared to, get to the meat. Don't tell him the wound to the tomb stuff. Get right to it. So he can help you solve your problems within 15 minutes.
What day of the week is it?
That's May 13th.
Is it a Tuesday?
Yes, it's a Tuesday.
I feel like it's a Tuesday.
It's a
but
Tuesday,
could be wrong.
Because the next day we're, the governor's office of resource and affairs is coming, and they'll be doing a free business resources. So how to work with DOR and all kinds of fun stuff. Following that, on the 20th, and you'll get all this. I'm going to do a May update. So you have the April one in front of you. We're going to talk about tourism, regional tourism for our valley and how it plays and what the tourism group is doing. So when we say the valley, we're talking about the Wallow Valley, and the Wallow Valley stretches from Milton Freewater to Dayton. So we comprise the Wallow Valley. Following that, we have cybersecurity, financial forecasting, search engine optimization, and QuickBooks 101. So we've got a lot of fun things happening. And so we look forward to seeing you at all of those events. And that's my spiel.
That's
So
a good one.
this time, I'm going to turn it over to our friend, Sarah. Take it away.
Woo! Well, thank you so much. Can everybody hear me? Oh, I'm glad Shakira is back. Cool. Alicia's here. That's so good. Okay, so these classes are kind of designed to be buildable. So if you didn't come to the first ones, that's totally fine, but there is some good stuff at that beginning. So the day one, we talked about, our mission statement and our values, because that's really the anchor of our content. So all these classes are being recorded. So it would be, extra credit if you guys went to the beginning and worked through them. Because a lot of what we're going to do today is going to go back to that. So you're going to have the slides, you're going to have the recording. I'm going to give you some resources today. Today, I'm going to show you how to make content creation so simple. We're all feeling, when we get into social media, most of us are feeling overwhelmed pretty quickly. And even me, I feel overwhelmed too. I do this every day. I still get overwhelmed. I still have days where I'm totally uninspired and I'm like, I don't want to post, or what should I post? I have those too. So the methods that I'm going to show you today is we're going to do some content research. We're going to get nitty gritty with it. We're going to practice, as best as we can. So that way, if questions come up as we're doing this, then I'm here. We can ask, you guys can ask any clarifying questions. But right off the start, I'd love it. I haven't met you guys. I'd love if we could just do like a quick little lightning round of introductions. I really love that because we're getting some different people. So can I start with you guys since I haven't met you yet?
Yeah, I'm Calvin Foster. I built a small business in Walla Walla, Washington. We make and manufacture cookie mixes in our kitchen.
Cool.
We're selling on store shelves, about 15 different stores. We have our UPC codes and website, everything. We do all of our wholesales through it.
Wow. So if I was gonna follow you, what would I type in?
We're on Facebook and Instagram under Cookies and Milk.
Bonus points if everybody follows them right now. Cookies and milk, okay. And you said your name is Calvin?
Yes.
Amazing. What's your name?
My name's Bridget.
Bridget?
I just joined on to this. I kind of was there at the start of it and then took a break from it and now I'm back to doing this with the new model we started originally as doing the fresh baked cookies in Walla Walla. So now we're moving over to doing manufacturing mixes.
Great.
So I'm kind of joining in on that new
She's our head marketing person.
version.
Sweet. Bridget, cool, okay. And then we have Jill, right? Judy?
Judy.
Oh, shucks, so close.
It was a J.
Okay, 4 letters and a J, right?
It's okay.
Okay,
Judy Miller, I'm here, just, Miles said it was very interesting, he came last week, and
She's my IT.
well, if you're the better half, we really need you here.
Exactly.
so I was, I can always learn.
Yeah, I love it, okay,
That's what I'm.
love it.
And I'm Miles Miller. My site is legaljive.com. I'm not selling anything. It's all free. It's for people to share their legal experiences with the legal system. So that my goal is to have such a library of content that people can learn the mistakes of hiring a lawyer. We're not giving legal advice. It's simply a place, sort of, I hate to say this, but I will, kind of like a Yelp. It's for people to share their experiences with the legal system and which lawyers are good, which are bad. Unfortunately, there's more of the latter. And the judges, which judges are good, which judges are fair, which are ruthless. So I'm just trying to build content and build a
Okay.
library.
Yeah,
And
great,
maybe someday we'll be able to monetize it
yeah.
for subscription, but right now it's just a baby.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, what was the website?
LegalJive.com.
legaljive.com, shameless plug, let's get it. Andy,
Yes, Andy Zisterman with Kickstand Tours. We do winery tours on e-bikes here in Walla Walla and in the Yakima Valley.
and they're super fun, so if you wanna have fun, call Andy.
And I'm Sandy Kleck, and my husband and I own a catering business. He builds wood pit grills, and we take them and use local apple wood and try to cook as local as we can.
Yeah,
Now, what's the name of your business?
The Q with fired grill.
there we go.
Q as in barbecue.
Yep, they make really delicious food. Okay, now let's go on to Zoom. So, Sharon, can you just give us a quick name and then what you do, what your business is all about?
Hi, yeah, my name is Sharon Burns. I'm working on a business called Unlocking Dementia. It's an informational webpage, social media for basic information about dementia, either from the caregiver point of view or from the patient point of view, just to get rid of all the medical jargon and stuff so that people can understand and get quick answers to questions that they have while they're dealing with this nice disease we have. It's in the baby
Yeah,
stage.
Sharon. Yeah, I'm excited. She's gonna help a lot of people, that's for sure. What about Shakira?
Hello, I'm Shakira Bai. I have an apothecary business. It's called Bai Trades Apothecary. I sell out of Dayton as well as Waitsburg, and I have an Etsy account. And like I said, I started my Instagram business account. It's not live yet though, because I haven't had a chance to
Oh, okay.
make it. I got it all there with my bio and stuff like that, but I have to figure out how to make my post. So that's where I'm at with that. So hello everybody.
Yeah, that is a step in the right direction. And also, on that same note, I'd like to say that Sandy created a couple of reels recently, and what happened?
My Instagram blew up.
hear
Very
that?
good.
Put it on stories for the
Yeah.
first time. I didn't even know, I mean, I'd never even looked at what stories, I still don't really know exactly.
We're working on it,
But,
yeah.
it worked.
And didn't you say that you're like having all these ideas come to you now?
Yeah, I mean, I was out today, we were cooking lunch at a winery, doing a bottling crew, and I took a, a video of the crew doing their thing in the winery in the cellar, and then took a couple pictures of the food that we served them, and, feel like I'm gonna do, hey, Winery Palace,
Mhm.
let us do all the hard work and get back on the line.
Yeah, I love that. And we're all here, we're all doing extra credit right now, and I'm really proud of everybody for being here. I know we still have Alicia, but I just wanna say one thing. So you're doing a great job just by being here, totally a step in the right direction. But I also just wanna give some extra credit and like just kudos for you guys. You did a thing, you said sorry. You had a goal and you did it, and it's really easy to come to these classes and just say, well, that's the check mark, I went to the class and that's all. But to actually implement what you learn is a whole nother step. So I just think that's really great. And a lot of people don't do that. You're already like in that next level up, Okay, Alicia, I know you're a really fun place, but tell us what your business is.
Yeah, we have, this is Alicia Walker and Stella. Can't see if you can see us or not, but we work at Locally Nourished. It's a cafe downtown Dayton, and I did create my Instagram bio and became a co-collaborator on your reel, Sarah. And I also have a disability support agency called Noble Hunt, and so I'm thinking about trying to maybe share information on a social media platform about that in the future.
Wow, you guys are doing it. Okay, is that everybody? Is there someone in the chat that I missed or anything?
No, I disabled the waiting room. So
Okay, and then do you want to tell us about your project, Shane?
which one?
The treasure
Chest?
yeah.
One thing, so those of you on Zoom, if you want to get a word in, please use your raise hand feature. So, because I try to keep a watch on it. So, because Sarah gets going and we want to
You
make
can't
sure
stop.
we want to make sure we don't miss you. So,
Yeah.
for me, I have a side hustle. It's called Three Doors Vintage. And so I do vintage eclectic architecture style antiques. In fact, if you go look in the back of my truck, I went on the treasure pick this afternoon.
What? Okay,
I do online through Instagram, solely Instagram, and then I do in-person shows. Generally, they're on the West Coast, so and Spokane. So I'm always on the hunt for something unique from our
love it.
past. So,
Cool.
and I did not get my bio rebuilt, but I will.
All right, and about the bio, so in last week's class, I gave a link for like a free audit. So if you're not sure what to write in your bio, how to maximize it for search and all the things, you can go back and get that and ask me if you have any questions now. By the way, speaking of vintage, I picked this up as a good vintage
Oh, yeah.
bag. Just saying.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. All right, on to the class. on to the
Also,
class.
it's a team effort, but we oversee the three social media accounts. So for Blue Mountain Station, choose Columbia County and the Port of Columbia. So if you see something from one of those three, it's either me, Jenny, or Darlene down at the kitchen. So
Yeah. Okay. So I've heard through the grapevine that sometimes it's hard to know what kind of content to post, how to make it, you're not inspired. Does anybody feel like they relate to that? Oh, and by the way, please, if you have questions, clarifying questions, or you just really want to get something out of today's class, please do feel free to ask. Even if you feel like it's a stupid question, there's a very high chance that someone else has that question. And I've been studying social media like just 100% for 6 years. And sometimes I get technical. Sometimes I get too technical, and that's something I'm working on. So if I say something that you're like, what even is that? Just please, I invite you, this is your class. I want you guys to say everything you can. Okay. So back to my super cool slides. We're gonna learn how to make content creation faster and easier. Now, when I first started doing social media, it was a very disjointed process. So I would just sit there thinking, and I'd scroll and I'd be like, maybe I'll be inspired, but then I'm looking at makeup tutorials and cute puppies. after like an hour. And I'm like, hold on, I didn't do anything. And then that would take an hour to think of an idea. And then I'd be like, okay, so then I'll film it and then I'll, do it like that didn't work out. Okay, I'm gonna do it over here now. And okay, and then that took an hour. And then I'm like, okay, I made the reel. Now you write the caption. Well, now I feel bad because I spent 3 hours on this. I'm supposed to be working, you know what I mean? So this is the process. A lot of people have told me one method of this, right? So the big question, the big mistake is that oftentimes people think that you have to start from scratch every time. And in one of our earlier classes, we looked at some other reels and we were just kind of saying like, you can take this concept and make it your own, or you could take this style of video and adapt it to your business. So there really is a way to look for content research. There is a way to do content research and make it your own, right? And so you don't have to start from the drawing board every single time. And it's a process, right? So just do something simple. And then when you get better and you're consistent, you're feeling good about it, then you can add all those cool edits. But it's important to know that the cool edits don't make or break your account. It's the consistency and it's the value. There are plenty of creators out there that show up without makeup on, without good lighting. They just show up and they're either really funny or inspirational or give you a really great piece of advice. And that's what really matters. And if you want to go in and be all polished and professional, that's great. But a lot of us kind of get stuck in that and then we don't create anything. And then we're just paralyzed because we're overthinking it all. Especially when you're an entrepreneur or business owner, because, lots of times you probably have a certain level of professionalism. Like you've been dedicated to your craft for a long time and then your social media skills don't match, that you're not at the same level. And that can be really stressful. Okay, so yeah, this constant strain on your creative energy, it's going to take it out of you. And with the demand for content being so extreme, there's a recipe for burnout for all of us, right? Even for me. So I'd love to know, does anybody here have like a content creation process that really works for them? Because I want to make sure I'm not reiterating myself if I'm going to go in this way. No? Okay. All right, I said it before and I'll say it again, you guys, you have the duty to show up for your clients, for your people, because someone out there needs you, right? And yeah, if it's cookies or if it's fun e-bike tours, like someone legit needs you and they will never find you if you're not on social media. And you guys are on, I mean, I just followed you, but the point is like you have hopefully your fear of being seen or your fear of making a mistake, hopefully that's not as big as your duty to your client to help them out, right? So you're a wealth of knowledge. And because you have started a business doing what you're doing, you have already overcome so much, you know so much about your industry. And so these exercises that we're going to do right now, that's just kind of we're just going to tap into the wealth of knowledge that is already you. This is what happens when I go and I film somebody. I just start asking them questions and they once they start relaxing, all this wealth just pours out and I'm like, that's real, that's real, that's real. And 12 reels in and they've only been talking for 10 minutes. So it's just a matter of kind of knowing how to look, how to tap into your knowledge and just realize like you kind of had this week, oh, that's an idea. That's a post idea. I can talk about that. I can take a video about that. Okay. So has anybody here ever felt like, well, what am I even going to post about? Has anybody felt like that? Okay. Andy says yes. Thanks. Thanks for being honest. You're going to say something?
My husband is like a total ham. So I've got like a serious subject going all the time.
Cool. Okay. So, after today's exercise, you're never going to run out of content ideas ever again. And you might even be like me, where now I have like a million drafts to edit, and I just gotta have the time to edit them. So in the first class, we talked about our target customer. We talked about who are they, what are their demographics, what are their pain points, what are their dream results, what is it that they're looking for. And so I'd like to, invite you to go back to that or think of that as you're going forward, right? Okay, so I'd love for some of you to just let's make this collaborative, let's make this interactive. Tell me, somebody volunteer, tell me what is your target audience's, what's the problem that they face or their pain points?
My target audience is pretty much everyone because I sell teas and tinctures and herbs. So families, elderly, everybody in between.
Yeah. I just have
So-
this image that's like fat skin. Okay.
That too. So,
Yeah.
you know, spray. I make sprays.
Okay.
I make all kinds of stuff. So
So what are some of their problems? Like, do they have rashes, or you talked last week about they might have fertility challenges or something?
uh-huh. So I have dealt with that, but the main things that people go for are like Mullen, so coughing, immunity builders, as well as sickness, like flu and basic colds, snotty noses, allergies, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I love it. So you guys, that's a great example. I mean, your target audience, their pain points is they're having a legal problem, you know, and they don't know who to turn. They don't know where they can trust. They know it's gonna cost a lot of money. And what if they waste it all on this guy who's gonna take all their money and not even help them?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Anyone that's been sued or in the process of, or it doesn't have to be a lawsuit, it could be, you
Yeah,
know, child custody, it could be
Yeah.
whatever their experience is.
yeah.
Yeah. The
So-
one thing, may I ask, you know, when we talk about content, we've talked about mission statement, we've talked about bio. I mean, what really, I mean, is that what content is, the 6 items you have up there? Or is contents a general, kind of a general statement? Is it just everything that's on the post?
Yeah. So the content is what you put out there. It's what you publish. It could be reels, stories, it's the
Video-
blog posts,
videos, okay.
yeah. But the reason that we make sure to stay with these topics is because it's easy to kind of stray. It's nice to have a framework.
Right.
And if we're businesses, right? If we're just doing this for fun, post about whatever you want, right?
Right.
But if we're doing a business, you know, let's kind of keep it in these parameters because we're building a community, right? That's really what we're doing is we're building a community. We want engagement, we want connection. That's what we want. And so, you know, if their pain points are, you know, they're sick, but then you're also giving, you know, there's nothing wrong with the occasional hair tutorial because especially with her, she's like a personal brand, Shakira is. So maybe that's relevant. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want your content all over the place. Like she's not gonna be talking about legal stuff, right? So it's just important that every time somebody's swiping, they're gonna see one of your reels. And we talked about how reels are typically seen by a new person. So if somebody's seeing your reel for the first time and you're kind of like off in the weeds with something else, then you might not get the right person to follow your account because maybe they'll talk about legal stuff. Because that way, if they don't have any legal concerns whatsoever, then they're just gonna keep swiping and that's okay, right? But the people who know that they have a problem and they know that this is a resource for them, they're gonna check you out, maybe even follow you, maybe even watch some more of your videos. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you betcha. Thanks for asking questions. Okay, so I'm gonna move on and you guys are gonna have these slides. You can take a picture of this if you want. I would, you know, for me, journaling is just, it really gets the ideas flowing. And so once I kind of answer these questions, then it helps, I can kind of go down the rabbit hole. And always come up with ideas. Go ahead, Shakira.
So I don't know if this is off topic or if you're gonna get to this. So one of the reasons I haven't gone live is because I wanted to know, do I let everyone follow me on Instagram because it's my business account? Do I just leave it like open?
Yeah, I would. Definitely,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go ahead and remove people if you don't want them on your page.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And you can also, I think I saw yesterday that you can also say, who can comment and who
Mhm.
can't.
Yeah.
So you can make it close friends or everybody in the world.
Yeah. And if for whatever reason, some nasty grams or nasty people, I mean, there's also a setting in there where you can like block certain words from appearing on your comments and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, you're supported in your community. So hopefully you're supported. And if you ever have some jackweed who's causing you problems, and just send me a message and we'll figure it out.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, you betcha. So, and these types of questions too, before I go on, because I said we're building community, we want you to be a trusted resource. Like you're the leader, right? You're the leader of your community. And so if you're answering these questions, you're solving their problems, then they're gonna follow you, but also they're gonna trust you, which is going to reduce their buyer's resistance later. Does that make sense? So you're answering their questions, be a resource, you're the leader of their community. Okay. Okay, so this is a fun little matrix I made, all right? So a lot of you are not gonna be doing blogs and YouTubes and all that stuff, and that's totally fine. If you do, then cool. But I just wanted to let you know that one little idea can be reused in so many pieces of content. Okay, so just take this and marinate on it a little bit and see if it applies, right? So I have a blog, I'm trying to get YouTube, but it's just not there, I just can't right now. But you know, so what are my audience's pain points, right? Like I can write a blog post about that. About just like the top pain points that they have. I can also write an email newsletter about those same things. I can go live on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. I can go live and just answer people's questions about their main pain points, right? I can take their main pain points and I can do those short trendy reels where it's kind of just like the video is really simple, but there's just text on screen of like, hey, you having this problem? Well, you're in the right place, right? I can do explainer reels, which is where, you know, I'm actually talking to the camera and I can talk about those problems in 60 seconds-ish, right? I can make a carousel post. I see people do this where they literally talk to text in their notes app, take a screenshot, and then slide 2, talk to text in the notes app, take a screenshot, that's slide 3. And then they post those, okay? And we talked before, I think we said, we were talking about how different types of content kind of reach different people in their customer journey and their process with you. So carousels are a great way to go a little bit more in depth about your cooking process or about the services you offer or whatever it might be, right? So whatever you can't touch on, you can't answer every question in a quick reel, even a 60-second reel. You can give a little bit more detail in a live, you can get a little more detail in carousel posts, right? And then stories, those are what we share to our stories. You know, it expires in 24 hours. It's really meant to be kind of behind the scenes. So one idea can last you it can last you so far, okay? And so these questions right here, these are just the questions from their previous slide. So if you kind of just put them through these filters, you realize that like, okay, I actually have a lot to say here.
What's the benefit of putting it on stories if it goes away in 24 hours?
Because the people who are seeing your stories are the people who are your most engaged, most interacting people.
Does everybody know that?
Not everybody knows that, but they don't need to know how the algorithm works. It's just saying like, okay, the algorithm notices, oh, I'm watching a lot of Q stories. I'm going to show them more. I'm going to show them their stories. So the algorithm tracks that. Your customer doesn't really need to know that. That's just tracking their behavior. But statistically, you know, the stories are shown to the people who have interacted with your account the most. So though in the customer journey, the people seeing your stories, they're like your warm leads, right? Like they know you and they like you. They're not strangers. So this is a great place to make calls to action, to tell them to sign up, to book you, to buy whatever, because they're a lot more receptive to it. And then the benefit with stories too is it's just a really great, it's really good like behind the scenes. For example, like last week I was having a day. I was mega overwhelmed and I kind of had a meltdown about it. I'm not gonna lie. Just a lot, right? Conquering the world's a lot sometimes. So I thought, hey, you know, sometimes I talk about mindset and entrepreneurship, and I'm gonna do a little series on my stories. And I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm mega overwhelmed right now. I try to be approachable, relatable. That's part of my brand, one of my, you know, values. So then I was like, here's what I do when I'm overwhelmed. I do da 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 da. And then I was like, oh, and here's a song that I really like. Oh, I'm at FBC Gallery because I can't be sad when I'm having a delicious latte. Of course, I tag them, which they appreciate. And then my overwhelmed story kind of turned into like a tour to Walla Walla somehow. And I'm like, now I'm working at the Dreamin' House because it's so pretty here. I can't be sad. And you know what I mean? So I kind of did like, it's okay with me that story is going away in 24 hours because I'm not like a therapist. Like I'm not like a mindset coach, right? But I have depth to me, right? I have more than just social media. So that was one of those situations where you don't have to do that right now. That's a little bit more advanced storytelling, but you can share that type of content, that like really real, raw, behind the scenes content, because the people who are seeing that already like you. Does that make sense? But mostly it's a great place to sell stuff because they already trust you. And then also remember that you can go back and repost a reel that already performed well. So our town, you know, our area is very seasonal. So sometimes what I do is I go back to last spring and I'm like, what performed really well last spring? Repost. You know, because it wouldn't be the end of the world if I posted a reel with snow. You know, that wouldn't be the end of the world, but I'm not gonna do that, right? And then think about this, like we can take one idea and repurpose it in all these different ways. So let's say last spring, for example, I did do a reel and it was an interview explainer reel with my microphone. And I was talking about how I build a story arc in my story strategy. So I was giving like the strategy of stories. So again, I could take that post, make it a carousel. I can even like take the caption that I wrote last year, I can copy and paste it into my notes app. And then that's a carousel post. Does that make sense what I just said? No. So
Do you guys, you do?
So if I edit a post, you can edit the post, and if like, let's say you made a mistake on Instagram, you can edit it and be like, oh, let me go back and like change. You can't go back and edit the reel and like add text to the reel, but you could just add to the caption underneath.
Okay,
So I can literally copy and paste that. Go into Canva or whatever and like plop in, you know, 3 sentences at a time, the next 3 sentences, the next 3 sentences. That's a carousel post. We can, I show you that, but just so you know, like you're allowed to repurpose stuff. And it is strategic to reuse what's already worked, or to revisit what's already worked, or to take another spin on what's already worked. Okay. And then also I would highly encourage you to, you know, keep some kind of journal or a notes app of your ideas, because I always get so many ideas after I have a conversation on the phone. Someone calls me out of the blue, they say, hey, you do social media? And I, you know, ask them a couple questions. Hey, you know, do you do catering, whatever, right? And then whatever those questions are, reel. Each one of those is a reel. So what I like to do is plug in my questions into my notes app, but new update, you guys. Instagram has a new editing app called Edits. I know you guys can't see it, but it looks like this. Anyways, so Instagram literally just released their own editing app, and I was playing around in it today, and there's actually a place in here. There's like the first tab is ideas, and I can keep my ideas in there. So there's just organize your ideas, because that way, you're not starting from scratch every time, and you can like run with it when you're in that content creation.
What's it called again?
It's called Edits by Instagram.
You know, we'll use our stories like on Instagram and Facebook. In a lot of cases, it's just like a way to show like our journey.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
In a lot of cases, the people who watch that and respond or send us messages through it are generally the people who turn out to the events later on that we're up at, and they like to converse, and it's like meeting the makers in a way,
Yeah.
and like talk about the journey. And sometimes they come up to us and give us even more ideas on the things that we're the next stage that we're trying to like
Yeah.
get to, which is nice.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, like I said, we're building community. People love knowing that they were there from the beginning. So when people say, oh, I'm just starting out, like I haven't started my business yet or whatever, like I'm about to start it. Show the journey. They love that. They love the process. Okay, here's another way to come up with content ideas. Go into Google, type in catering service, and you'll see Google say people also ask. Okay, so how to make catering cheap? I don't know. I wouldn't even bother with that one, because come on, I'm trying to run a business here. But what's the difference between catering and catering services? What service is commonly used in catering? I don't know. That all kind of seems like a bunch of gobbledygook, but that's what people are searching on Google. So if you're typing in, you know, e-bike tours, winery tours, just see what pops up right in there in Google search. Right? Okay, here's an AI prompt you could use in ChatGPT, my new best friend. Actually, no joke, when I was really overwhelmed last week in ChatGPT, I was like, what's a non-B word way to say this thing I'm trying to say right now? How can I write this email better? And it said something really nice, very helpful. And then I go, dear ChatGPT, I'm super overwhelmed. Oh my God, what am I gonna do with myself? Can you please just write something nice? And because I've been using the same thread for like my big business ideas, it knows all my information and it was like, tell me the nicest things. So I just really like ChatGPT. And even though I know it's a robot, I still really appreciate it. Okay, so here's one prompt you could use. So I would encourage you, if you're gonna use ChatGPT, keep the same thread or the same conversation going for like your content ideas. So you could say, you know, please act like an expert social media and digital marketing strategist and create a list of content ideas for my business. And if you just start with that, it's probably gonna reply and be like, well, what's your business, right? But you'll go back to the beginning, to our class, you say, my business is this. I do X, Y, and Z thing. My target audience is this, and their pain points are this. And so that'll help get it started. Let me see, and if you don't like the answer, I can be like, hey, rewrite this, but make it funnier. Or why do you sound like such a robot? Can you make it sound like Ellen DeGeneres wrote it? And it'll be like, yeah, it totally does. You guys try
I
it.
used it for the first time last week.
Oh, yeah.
I've been kind of anti,
Oh, I know.
I'm old school.
That's all
So
right.
if this is the 150th anniversary of Columbia County. And so I went into ChatGPT and I said, can you give me a slogan for 150th?
Mhm.
And it popped out some slogans and they were all kind of cool. And so Jenny said, type in, this is Columbia County, Washington's 150th. And it came back with, it's an agricultural region. I mean, it hit it nail on the head.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like freaky weird.
I've asked it to write, to like map out email newsletters, sales page copy. But for me, I often struggle with, I'm so direct that sometimes my emails come off like I'm a real B word and not usually. So anyway, so that's my favorite ChatGPT thing is like, what's a professional way to put down a boundary with a client I had to do that last week, actually.
Shakira, do you have a question?
Well, I was just gonna say I use it a lot. I'm in the middle of a divorce, so I use it a lot for my like my back and forth with my lawyer and his lawyer, and it takes a lot of the emotion out of it for me. So I love it.
Wow, great
And this is
application.
chat.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Do you have to join it or?
You log in with your email.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
You just log in with your email.
Okay.
Yeah.
It actually didn't make me log in.
Well, I would have you log in because then I might not remember you.
Cause then it
It
like
will
she
save
said,
the stuff if you
it'll
log
thread
in.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so it's amazing.
And
Anyway,
it's a product of Google.
I don't think so. I think it's open, yeah.
It's OpenAI.
It's
That's the,
OpenAI.
yeah, that's the name of the company.
So when you go to Google and you type in ChatGPT, make sure you're looking, like I think we talked about this last week, make sure you're looking that it's actual ChatGPT. Cause there are several of them. And what you're gonna see at the top is whoever has sponsored that
Right.
ad. So Jenny clicked on one and she thought it was ChatGPT, but it was something
Right.
ChatGPT and
Yeah, I
so-
think their web link says OpenAI.
Mhm.
yeah.
And when you're using it, do you get pop-ups and all?
Nope.
No,
You know,
it's absolutely amazing.
And if you pay for it, I think it's $20 a month for the paid version and it's faster. So the free version is always gonna be about 2 years behind. So it's not the best for like social media trends.
Uh-huh.
But it's good for just content ideas, which are gonna be always valid. But my sister has it, she pays for it. And I was trying to pay my kitchen, right? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, and she wrote it in the ChatGPT, like, give me a galley kitchen with this color combination and give me 3 images so I can see it, right? If I like it. And I was like, you just saved me so long in Home Depot.
But Shane, may I ask you, so how do you know you have the right ChatGPT after there are all these other
It
imposters?
specifically says ChatGPT.
Oh, it does.
Look at the name.
So that's a brand then? is
Yeah,
it?
that's a private company.
Okay,
Yep, yep.
thank you,
You betcha.
thank you.
So I'm gonna give you guys a free content calendar if you like it and research tool. So you can scan the QR code. This is what I did right before class actually, so I didn't technically check it because I just made an update. Let's just triple check that it works. Real time, you guys, always working. Aha, okay, it'll work for me. So you can open this now and I'm going to, if you like, you don't have to. And I'm going to take us through an exercise of how to find content in Instagram that's already performing well in your niche. So you can just go right to what works. But before, take a picture of this if you like, open it up. What I will say is that, I want you to make a copy of this, don't request access to it. And if you have questions, we'll talk about it, but, does anybody have questions about what I said so far? Anything I said we wanna clarify? I appreciate everybody's been really interactive, it really makes it fun, you guys. Onward. This is a screenshot of what the spreadsheet looks like, okay? So we're gonna walk through this, it's gonna be kind of a lot. Buckle in, but this is a really good strategy, it's gonna save you a million years and so much energy. We're gonna do content research, okay? So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm actually gonna share from my phone and I think I can show you the real. Hold on, Gmail. I'm gonna go to Shane. There it is, I'm gonna join. So if I'm gonna share on my phone, then I can't, I gotta turn the sharing off, right? Okay.
I think it only allows one share at a time. So it's multiple.
Well, we'll just, we'll come back to what this looks like, okay, so stop share, allow. Okay. What a time to be alive, love this technology, okay.
Or you have to volume out. Or mute.
Okay. Okay. Says I'm muted. All right, well, whatever, you guys, okay. So we're gonna go to Instagram, follow along if you like, and go to the search bar. Wait, it's not showing up, right?
Did you hit request share?
So how do I retrieve focus?
Go to your drive.
Oh, I tried to do this last time, it didn't work, right? I don't think I actually can, because I do more. And then, wait, no, that's not what I'm gonna do.
What are we looking for, Safari?
I can't share, right? Be right there.
Oh,
Okay, I don't think I can share, but that's okay, we're still gonna do it, so open up to.
oh, I got it. There we go.
Killed that.
Thank you.
Okay, so the way that we do content research. Is we go into Instagram and you guys feel free to pop out your phones and do this now, okay? You're gonna go to Instagram, you're gonna,
If you open Instagram from your laptop.
it's honestly not the same, you really have to do this on your phone.
Okay.
You could, but it's meant to be used as a desktop. Yeah, as a mobile app, and so all the functionality is just not available on your desktop. So you're gonna go to Instagram, you're going to type the little magnifying glass at the bottom, and that's gonna be search. And you're gonna type in your niche. Catering, winery tours, homemade cookie mixes, apothecary, whatever it is. Then at the top, it could be dementia, home care, that might be another good one for Sharon to look at. So then at the top, you're gonna see several tabs, and one of them is gonna say Reels. You have to type the tab that says Reels. Okay, so catering, okay, so now this is the tab, so type Reels. Okay? Do you guys have any questions about this? Okay, Reels, you got it, okay?
Which one?
Yeah, so legal issues. Okay, so let's see.
Yeah. One of my reels is on there.
Heck, yes, Andy.
Hey, that's cool.
So I'm wondering if this might not be the most
It's
up-to-date
not the highest
version of the app because
It doesn't have it.
it doesn't have that.
Okay.
Are you on your browser by chance or are you on the Instagram app?
Instagram now.
Okay, well, sometimes they really are different versions of it, but, so basically when you get to the Reels section, you'll be able to see how many views it's getting. And so like, pick the reel that has one whatever million views in your in your area, in your field, sorry. Yep. And just look at it, okay? Is there a text on screen? Is there a video? Is it a complicated video? Is it a talking video? It's just, yeah,
Picture with scrolling.
yep, it's a picture with some nice words. They probably made that in Canva. It looks really nice. So just kind of go through this, and what I would recommend, once you find one that you kind of like, that you're like, oh yeah, I could kind of do this, or I like this angle or something. You're gonna press the button that looks like a little paper airplane to share. You're gonna copy the link and you're gonna put it in this spreadsheet. So if you have the mobile app and you've got that app, like you got the QR code.
That's what this brings up. The QR code
Yeah,
brings up.
and then
this
the other
spreadsheet.
thing is if you don't wanna put it in the spreadsheet, if you're like spreadsheet averse, I have it, my best friend hates spreadsheets. Another thing you could do is once you have that video that you like, there's a little flag icon that allows you to save it. And then I save it in a collection that says, recreate this content. So all my content that is saved is like recreated.
Let's see this.
So I feel like that was really technical. Are you guys, I mean, are you guys kind of following? You guys have questions?
It's catchy, that's what I like.
So the good thing about this spreadsheet is that it kind of makes you look at like, what was there a text hook? Or sometimes it's not a text hook, sometimes they'll just like jump on screen and then start talking. Or sometimes they'll just like put their phone down and it's still moving. So just kind of pay attention to like, the hook is what happens at the very beginning to stop your attention. It's like one of those attention hacks because you only have 1 second to get their attention for them to watch the movie, the reel. There's also an option to like, on that spreadsheet, it'll tell you what format is the video. Is it an interview reel? Is it like edited like with a green screen and like a screen share kind of a tutorial, or is it just a B-roll with text? So when we were looking at her first 100K reels, like week 1, I think, she's a financial lady who takes really simple reels that are really easy to recreate in your industry. So her reels are like, the video example was she was literally just standing like this on a pier or something. And there's just on-screen text that's like, if you're having this problem, you're in the right place, or something like that, where you're like, I can literally just plug in my niche or my client's problems or whatever the solution is, right? So like, once you start really looking, getting really intentional about recognizing, oh, they're calling out the pain points right now. Well, they're calling out the dream results. They're calling out something that my target audience faces. You realize that so much of this marketing is just rearranging the same variables, but your audience's pain point is different than his audience's pain point. So the words are different, but it's the same because they're both talking about those variables. So this is a way, like, whether or not you want to use the spreadsheet or you just want to save the reels in Instagram and say, recreate this content. This is already content that is performing well. And yes, sometimes 1 million views comes because they've been posting every day for 10 years and they already have 1 million followers. Sometimes that's why. But you can just kind of start to deconstruct it, right? And then there's a little bit of view, like you can write the views, the likes, and then in my content calendar spreadsheet, it says used, so you can decide if you used that idea or not, right? So if you decide to do this, I would recommend setting a timer because you're gonna get distracted. And then before you know it, you're looking at cute animal videos. And you're like, wait a second, this isn't content research. Okay,
Rabbit hole.
Retrievers.
tell me about it. Yeah, those cute puppies give me every time, I tell you. Okay, oh, and another thing too is I have an area for you to save hashtags and keywords that are performing well in your niche too. So this is very technical, and if you're just starting out, you might not feel like being very technical, that's totally fine. If you're posting semi-regularly, anything, you're doing it. Like, that's good. All right, that's good. But here's a way that we can save time, get right to what's working. So we already talked about a couple different ways to look for content ideas between the Google searches, between the Instagram searches. You could do this on TikTok also if you like, or whatever your favorite platform is, and just kind of see what's coming up. We talked about writing down ideas in your notebook, like after you have a call with somebody. So what one of these ways, like, what one do you think you guys would use first? I'd love to hear from you about these methods. What do you think, Shane? What would you be most likely to use kind of with content ideas?
For me, it's. I use Instagram more for selling than I do for telling my story.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have a friend who's trying to get me to more tell the story, why I do what I do.
Yes.
And so
I love
I
that.
need to get to that nurturing, they call that a nurturing post.
Definitely.
So people can see like, I'm not just about the money.
Mhm.
So, so that's,
So you're gonna start telling your story?
yeah,
The real Shane,
the
huh?
real junk hunter story.
But buyers these days are a lot more ethically, emotionally in tune. So if they like you and what you stand for, then they're gonna buy from you. They're like more likely to buy from you if they can get behind like, what's the story?
Yeah, I mean, we're the original recyclers, not Goodwill. We are,
Yeah.
so.
See, and that's a very polarizing opinion, so that would be great for engagement.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, Cookie Peeps, what do you think? Does any of these like new ideas?
I like that.
Are any of these new ideas or, which one do you think would be something that you could use like tomorrow to look for ideas?
Probably looking through Instagram Reels is what I've done the most
Okay.
already, and hopefully will continue to. I didn't think of searching it, so
Yeah.
that's helpful, because I just we get similar ones and I keep
Mhm.
liking them so that more pop up
Mhm.
as I scroll through just our feed, and yeah, I never thought to search it like that, so that's useful.
Yeah. And I would say, I would recommend everybody, like, that's just the algorithm showing you more of the stuff you're interacting with, but, train your algorithm, look up catering companies and tour companies and just like follow the people that are, key players in your industry, because then when you're scrolling, you are getting ideas. You're seeing what they're doing and you can kind of take inspiration from that. What do you guys think? Are any of these like new ideas to come up with, how to share little snippets of legal
Well,
advice?
I mean, I guess we refer to it as the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the whole deal. I mean, if you can't get people's attention, I mean, the content's great, reading the whole, but to me, I'm to the point where I'm just getting, not legal jive, but my own personal, just pop up, and I don't even look. I can tell you the biggest response a legal jive got were billboards in Portland, Oregon. We did radio.
Mm.
We did a geofencing where people, the minute they hit, whether we did the Seattle airport and the Portland airport. Yeah, radio was worthless. It was great hearing about it, turning out, ooh, that's it.
Well, radio worked for you guys?
No, it's
Oh,
horrible.
okay.
Billboards,
Oh, got it.
right on the
Okay, yeah.
Banfield Freeway, everyone's in traffic and they're
Oh.
looking up and they go,
That's
hey,
good.
I hate my attorney. Yeah, it was bizarre. So our problem is just reaching people. And I think last week we talked that Facebook is kind of, and most of the talent did Instagram. And I think that's where we need to go.
Yeah,
But I still need that hook because Instagram, I
yeah,
see how quickly
it goes.
it goes.
And you
So
know what-
You need to, like
Yeah.
I see Bill Maher, boom, my stuff.
And one thing that might be good once you guys get your legal jive up and going is reaching out to the lawyers that you actually do like, that you would put on your page, and, you could do some kind of collaboration with them.
Right.
So, yeah, but yeah, getting attention that first little bit. So if you're looking for legal advice, I think I told you, I bought a course from this judge dude who's judge turned influencer. And he had like a course on how to win your custody case
But how did you find that, Judge?
on Instagram.
On Instagram, what was the hook?
Well, my mom sent it to me technically, but I mean.
Okay, so there was a hook for
But I mean, his hooks are pain points.
Pardon me?
His hooks are the pain points. So, hey,
Oh,
is your
okay.
narcissistic at, X, like,
Oh,
know,
I got you, yeah.
yeah,
Boom,
actually,
yeah.
Couldn't you hear his voice on Instagram?
yes, it's a great
Like
voice.
Video, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I have been told so many times I should be on the radio.
You have a face for
well, be
radio.
on
I think I
Instagram.
missed
You
it.
got a face
Yeah,
for
right?
Instagram. Let's do that.
Okay, thank you.
But imagine if you had a short, some short videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, are you experiencing this? You know, like, here's some more information if you want to learn more.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, actually, we have a friend who's the anchor in Portland for CBS. And his co-anchor was gonna get me a coach. It never happened, but thank you. But I kind of believe in comedy a little bit, like, hey, you know.
You can definitely find some good skits
Thank
and
you, appreciate it.
people would love that, especially in that industry, because like, golly, it sucks the energy right out of you. I could use I could laugh about that situation. That'd be nice. Yeah.
I know nothing about it, so just grain of salt.
Like, I'm thinking like the, you know, wine tours and the electric bike for me would be the hook. I mean, maybe someone on a bike, you know, with a Veuve Clicquot. Hey, this is-
God, would it be
Riding
cool
with no hands.
balance and then like pour after?
I don't wanna give my guests any ideas.
Or they're on the bike and they're trying to run and pour next to you.
Or do you have a two-seater? Do you have a
I
two-seater?
do not. I do have a tricycle, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
That is cool, yeah. Or what if everybody has a bottle of cheap champagne and when they ride by, they have to like try to get it in your cup that you're holding on? Nah, it's okay. We're getting off track, you guys, but I love that the juices are flowing. Okay, Andy, so, have any of these been like a newer idea of like how to look for content?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I love that your reel came up when you searched for your keyword. That's a
Yeah.
win for sure.
Yeah.
So good. Is there like a new method that you didn't know from the ones I just
I
talked
was
about?
certainly just going into Instagram and searching. and
Yeah,
looking at the
timer
reels.
first, seriously, cause oh my gosh, yeah,
That's a good idea that I've talked about with my wife, who
good,
really is doing more of the content creation right now than I am.
good,
So
yeah,
a lot of what you're telling me is getting filtered down to her.
sure,
That's why we're not here last week, was
Yeah.
because she was visiting and it was
Yeah.
easier for us to do as a phone.
Well, you were technically here.
yeah, you were here.
But I want her to participate as well.
Well, and that's why I can't do this on my laptop, because if I go to Instagram and search the keyword, I can't find the Reels tab, and therefore it won't show me how many views, so it just shows me all of Instagram, and so
Mm.
that's the downfall here. Sandy, what do you think? Are any of these, what's one of these ideas that you could go home and use tomorrow?
Well, this last one, going in and searching other people in your industry, I
Good,
never
yeah.
really thought about it. I mean, I have looked at other caterers for various reasons, one or the other.
Yeah,
But never for me to
mhm.
benefit from it
Well,
necessarily.
the good thing about having it in the spreadsheet is like over here, I have the subtopic, so it could be catering, wood fire cooking. There is a whole community of people on Instagram that are all about wood fire cooking or barbecue or southern cooking or whatever style of cooking, you know? I remember watching this tutorial and the guy kept saying, you're gonna mop your meat, and it was really funny. But yeah, I watched a ton of his videos because I got a charcoal grill. So yeah,
I go to the.
yeah. All right, let's see. So, so let's go to Shakira. What do you think? Are any of these ideas that you could use in your apothecary business come up with content ideas?
Yes, when I put in apothecary in Instagram, I looked at it and everyone seemed sort of similar, and I don't want to be similar. And my thought process on how I'm doing it is completely different and didn't really come up. So that gave me hope, because it is about like selling my product for sure, but I'm really trying to build a community around this because I know so many amazing people. So like I'm just kind of all over the place, but it was really good to see how, like, I looked at one of the ones that had like 1.2 million, and it was just simple showing the herbs being poured. So
Yeah, I think especially in your business, people would really love to watch you make the things.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will
And then
tell
you
you what
have, like,
I'm gonna take from that, what you were saying earlier is I'm having a hard time finding the time to even make my first post. And I feel like I should just go on and be like, this is me. I'm having a hard time making the time to make this post, but I just want to introduce myself or something like that. Because if I don't start doing something, I'll get caught up and never do it. I built the whole thing, so I need to just
Yeah.
like put it out there.
something is better than nothing. I couldn't agree more. There's a short shelf life on all the Instagram stuff. It'll be old news soon, and then you'll have done something, and no one was gonna be hooked up on no one's gonna be like, oh, that was such a simple reel, Shakira, mom, you know, like just
Yeah.
keep it going. Momentum is important. Sharon, did you think of any ideas about how to find other content for like dementia and caretakers?
Yeah, but I'm such a novice with internet and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, I am overwhelmed as usual, so I have to just sort through it all. It's
No,
gonna
that's
work
okay. And
eventually.
this is a lot. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I heard on NPR today, they had an interview with some people who were making videos and things for dementia patients. And they studied it and figured out how to like be engaging without being too engaging, and how to like just show somebody in a shower if somebody's having a meltdown and they won't get in the shower.
That's what she just said.
And yeah, and so, you know, they see somebody in a warm shower and go, oh, that looks like, but that would be, you know, feel good. And then the caretaker can say, hey, let's go do it. Just, it was a pretty fascinating article if you wanted to go on NPR and see it.
That's on
Yeah.
NPR.
Well, yeah, NPR.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, what I'll say is overwhelm is the first step of learning, you guys. I mean, anything I've ever learned, I've hit overwhelm. You know, sometimes it's just you hit that wall, take a break, let it soak in, and you come back to it. But overwhelm is part of the process. So welcome to the journey.
Thanks.
Okay, so this is just kind of an example of, you know, what I did. So I went to I typed in the keyword, typed in reels, then down here, this is where it says how many views. So I study it. Is it a visual hook? Like, is the movie moving, or is there movement, or is there an edit or whatever? And is it a text? And just, you know, you don't have, like I said, you don't have to have a ton of edits. You can literally just be problem aware. Here's the solution. Is this your problem? Here's the solution. It's a great place to start. So you can add it to your spreadsheet, and you just, you know, you push this little send button, you copy the link, and there you go. So I would do this, you know, spend some time doing this. If you're wanting to just do some content research, you know, you put in a couple of your sub niches and spend 20 minutes doing this, and you think it'll really be flowing. Okay, we did that. We did that too. Okay, so do we have questions about anything so far? I think that I know this has kind of been a lot, and we might be like hitting a wall, but I just want to clarify. If anybody has questions, this is a great time to ask it. Okay, so this is kind of our content creation journey. Like I said, it's really easy to get caught up in every one of these stages, and then before you know it, it's 2 hours and you try to make a reel. So it's the ideation, the planning, which might be like, oh, here's the shots that I'm gonna get, or I'm gonna be at an event on Friday, I'll get this shot, whatever, right? The filming and the taking pictures, the editing, if you do any editing, writing it and posting it. So this is more or less the flow. And it's really easy to get caught up on each one of those stages. So what I'm trying to do today is we kind of talked about, these are a lot of ways to come up with ideas, okay? And hopefully when it comes to planning, hopefully that's just as simple as looking back at what's already worked, looking back at your content research, and just recreating something. And that can be very simple. Done is better than perfect. Something's better than nothing. So what Shakira said about, I'm just gonna take a video of me and say, this is my apothecary page, welcome. That's amazing, right? Okay. And you know, you can add, when you get to editing, it's really easy to get overwhelmed, but don't beat yourself up about it, because the more you just press the buttons, it's gonna get easier every single time. And sometimes it's a matter of just like pressing the button to see what it does.
How do you get music?
Oh, I'll show you. Well, okay, hold on. Let me. I'll show you in
Yeah.
person, yeah, because I wish, I don't know why I can't, screen share in this, but, okay, and then writing the caption and the hashtags, one of my frameworks for writing captions. Well, my first hack is sometimes I just talk to text it. Because I'm an extrovert, so I never have talker's block. So maybe introverts too, I'm not really sure. But sometimes just talking it out, sometimes that is a really helpful way for me to get a caption out, okay? Again, you can look at what are they writing about in the other reels similar to this. You can do still content research here. But at the end of the day, the formula that I like to, the framework that I use to structure my reels and write the captions is I have a hook, a story, and a call to action. So the hook is usually problem aware, and we have this framework kind of in the reel, like hook, get their attention, give them more detail, and then, you know, it's like follow for more, leave a comment or whatever. And then the caption is usually something similar. And even if all you do is just say, we're out at the wine country dinner, we did a bottling dinner, this is what we ate, and this is what they said about it, just say what you're doing, it's totally fine. But I would like to encourage you to put some kind of call to action, because these people, when they're scrolling, they're kind of in zombie mode, and they are not gonna think to be like, this is a resource that I need, I should save this post. They're just, sometimes they're just not gonna think about that. So get in the habit of just saying that, reminding them, follow for more. If you like fresh made cookies without weird chemicals in them, then follow our page or things like this, right?
It's pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah, so yeah, okay, yeah, and so, you know, it can be a lot simpler, but it's really easy to get caught up on this part. On the writing, and then you have all this momentum with the editing, and then this happens to me all the time still, and I get to the end, I'm like, crap, what I have to write, I gotta put the hashtags, I gotta put the keywords in there. Another thing that I do is sometimes I just start typing it out, and I'm like, okay, what is this? And I just write the keywords, I'm like, okay, tutorial, Instagram, coach, and then I think like, can I make words out of this? Can I make a sentence out of this? And then also ChatGPT, I'm telling you. I say this all the time, I go in there, ChatGPT, I have my query or I have my thread, just like the last one. And I said, hey, I really need help writing a caption about my wine, my dinner that I did for a bottling line. I really want to book more winery clients. Can you please help me write a short Instagram caption for this? There you go. Okay. So I'm hoping to give you the tools for every step of the way. So that way, when you do hit that overwhelm, you sidestep and you're like, oh, I got a trick for this. Okay.
I keep my hashtags in my notes. I
Ah,
just-
love it.
Copy them every time.
Yep.
So I'm using the same hashtags
Yep.
every time.
Sometimes I go back to an old post and I'm like, oh, I also talked about this there. I'm gonna copy and paste that. Bam. Okay. Oh, that's what I meant to do already. All right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We've talked about content banks. Anybody remember what a content bank is? You guys are off the hook, you weren't here. Does anybody
if you had
remember
a
what a
guess.
content bank is?
We have like a Google Drive.
Oh.
That we put all of our documents into, we take videos and photos.
Love it. Love
It's
it.
like, so we can go back and we have stuff we can pull from for more content.
Yeah, and what kind of content, what kind of things are in that folder?
Pictures of us at events, at the stores, or talking to certain owners, or pictures of our cookies, fresh baked, cookies of the bag mixes, different, different parts of town, scenery. stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Do you guys have those videos where, on like cookie commercials where they're like, it's like a time lapse and that it's like baking in the oven? Can you guys see in your oven? That'd be a really good one.
No,
Dang it.
commissary kitchens.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, shucks.
But we show them all on the racks, and we fill up the whole rack, looks really cool.
We showed the doors open, but you can't see the progression, so.
Yeah, so he's sharing every part of his journey. Mixing, start to finish of the process, he mixes. He puts them in the oven, he puts them in the cooling racks. So Andy, it could be your content bank. So the content bank, in case anybody missed it, this is just a bank of content of videos that are just ready to go. They're not scripted videos where you're talking to the camera interview style. They're just videos that you can put any audio on, you can put any text on, you can mix and match however you want, but they're there and they're ready. So when I was making content for you, I went along, I did a tour for Andy, with Andy last summer with my sister. It was a great time, and I had my phone in a little lanyard, so I didn't drop it on the bike, because I was like, oh, that's gonna happen. And I took video the whole time. I was like, here's selfie mode. Here's down into this pretty swirly driveway. Here's walking up to the winery. You could be like, hey, put your phone on a tripod and take your bikes out of your van and get them all lined up, you know? And so now he has a bank of content on his phone, and it could be Google Drive if you're doing it, you know, maybe for you guys, I don't know if it's just something on a folder. I have a folder in my phone that's called Content Bank. So I just shared, if you guys follow me at The Real Sarah, I just shared a reel about this where I was like, hey, this is a really simple way to just to film yourself doing your everyday things. And for me, I was walking my dog. So I was like, okay, here's an angle, like I'm gonna put on wide angle and I'm gonna walk this way. And then I'm gonna put it on the safety cone and I'm gonna walk this way. And then I'm gonna put it over here. Now it's a sideways. And so it's super simple, and that's why people overthink their content. But now I can take any one of those clips and I can say, you know, I'm just chilling, walking my dog, knowing that my posts are going out because I'm a really good social media manager or whatever it is. You know, right, but like, you gotta you bring it back to your offer, and people still like to see a little bit of your life behind the scenes. So prepping is gonna be a big thing, like we were saying before, like along for the journey. Another thing, that I like to do is I like to go through my calendar, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing this week? Just take it a week at a time, right? So if you do that thing that I said in my video where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take video of the same thing from different angles. What am I doing this week? Okay, I have a meeting, I have this. I should be recording, but day one, I got some footage of me up here doing this, right? So do you have anything coming up that's on your calendar, Sandy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's always
There's always something.
and I mean, if it's not pictures of the food, it could be pictures of the place or the people or the
Mhm.
sunset or
Yeah.
I mean,
I would just say, you know, your phone's hopefully probably in your back pocket all the time. Just get in a habit of pulling it out and taking a 10-second video. If you're like, oh, that's a gorgeous sunset, I'm gonna take a picture. Take a 10-second video instead.
it's the organization part that's hard for me.
Yeah.
Cause I don't really, you know, I'm not the person that puts everything in a folder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I need a secretary.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a note on my phone every Friday. I'm kind of brain dead by Friday anyway, so that's like a really good job for me to do on a Friday afternoon. Reorganize the content, and I can just I do that too though, but my whole photo album, my whole camera album is really full of stuff, so I've been really slacking lately. But I hope that makes sense, building a content bank, because then when you're doing your content research, so many of those videos are gonna be a 10-second video where you're calling out the pain point, here's the solution, or like we said with Shakira. I am a really amazing apothecarist, I'm not sure how you call that, but, and this is my page welcome. So any one of those videos, that text on screen could go with anything. Her mixing herbs, of her walking into her shop. So every time you're building a content bank, I would really encourage you to do this once a week, once a month. Like I said, the first day, like declare it and be like, well, that's too much. Or like, oh yeah, it feels good, I can do that. So if it once a month, is it once a week? And just make it a point to film what you're doing. You know, if it's a really busy event, give yourself the grace. And if you don't catch a video, that's fine, right? You guys have questions about like filming, just filming what you're doing, different angles, short little things. You're not talking to the camera. How do you guys feel? You know what we could do, since we have 15 minutes left, is we could literally make a reel right now. Anyone want to do that? And we could work through it. Because I know we have till 7, but I just went through a ton of information and I'm worried that everybody's like, okay, we're done now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So I know that's not going to be super helpful maybe for the people on Zoom. Do you have any ideas about how to?
Watch.
Okay, well,
What, I mean, we could.
because here's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go outside get a video of you walking in front of the camera, because the lighting will be better out there, that's why. Here, I'm at a class, or,
Join, and you can rejoin from your phone, even, you can't share though,
yeah,
but you can still talk.
oh, okay. Right, here we go. All right, you guys, stand up, we're gonna get the energy moving, here we go, we're gonna post and we're gonna make a reel, gosh darn it. Whether you like it or not.
Everybody jump at once.
We're so excited.
I know you're excited.
Hoping it doesn't go viral.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk out there and then I'm gonna unmute myself. Is that better? So I'm not,
Yeah,
okay, all right, let me walk out here. We're going out here because it's better lighting. The natural light is gonna make your skin look so much better, trust me.
versus vampire skin.
Okay. So the sun is super duper bright, so I'm actually gonna stay. I'm actually
Is it
gonna stay right
echoing,
here.
Shakira?
Sandy, let's start with you, girl. Give me your phone.
Is it echoing?
Yes.
Sandy, we're starting with
It's
you.
not so bad.
Bring your phone.
How's that? Is that better?
Well,
Definitely.
your camera-
Thank you.
Camera, that way it's like,
Okay.
have that album playing, it doesn't album later.
Sounds cool.
All right. Okay, here, let's see, so many options. Okay, all you're gonna do is you're gonna stand by Bridget, right there. And you're gonna walk right here, you're gonna stop, and you're gonna wave. And you're gonna walk off. And then you're gonna walk off. Okay, so go do that again. And I need you to.
And you can still hear her, right?
You're kind of like, you know, that's, the kind of, they that, to be like, I'm here, walking, okay.
Ready?
Ready to go.
We can see the ceiling.
Okay. So now go ahead and open up your Instagram, let's show everybody what we did there, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so we come over to the, so, go, exit out of that, do that plus sign. You're doing a reel, okay, so, okay, we're all gathered around here, we can see. All gathered, now push next. Okay, now push next.
We're seeing the ceiling with your phone.
Are you seeing it now?
Flip
No.
the camera around.
Hold on. Okay. Okay, so how to add music, Sandy, you were asking, there's a little music button right there. You can go right here trending. Or if it has an upward arrow. Then, you know, it's trending, and it'll just give you a little extra boost, okay? So click one and see which one you like.
Well, Easter, I don't want Easter. We'll do that one.
Okay, turn it up, do you like it? Okay. So you can, if you want to save this video and you're like, make a reel right now, I want to use this later, just click this little flag. Okay, so now we're gonna click that button. All right, done. And then you're gonna do, text. And now you're gonna say, if you're looking for memories in Walla Walla, I'm your guy, or something like that, make it your own. We're literally all watching you, no pressure, make it perfect, Andy. So one thing I would say, maybe you could say if you're looking for quality memories with your favorite people in Walla Walla, I don't know. Let me know if that feels good to you, but that's kind of like being more emotional because what he does is so much more than just bike tours and making memories. Okay, now I would click that button. That's gonna give you, click it again. See, it's changing the text. Okay, so that you can read it better. And then, yeah, does that look good to you? All right, so push done. Sorry for just doing it, okay. So yeah, I just moved it smaller, moved it out of the way. All right, next. So you could type the text out right now if you want, or you can just save draft if you want to do it later, but see, it's simple. So when some random person, all right, let's do this. So when some random person is scrolling, they come across you, they're like, oh, I'm going to Walla Walla. Yeah, I'm gonna follow this guy, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I want quality memories. What does this guy do? So it can be that simple. So this video of him walking and waving, this can live in his content bank. He can reuse this video again. You know, maybe not, and you know what though, I do see people who are like recording artists and they'll do the same video over and over and over and over again. It doesn't even matter. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just do this video, but be at a winery next time. It can be that simple.
So is there a save to button?
Yes.
Then it'll take it to your content bin.
Do you mean, I would, well, I would take the video, if you want to take it to your content bin, that's when I would like take that video from your camera roll and add it to the album. Yeah, that's the tricky part. So do you see how it can be so simple? You guys sound like you probably do this already, so you guys are good.
We're awkward about it, but we try. I know how to do this.
Okay, so let's go back in there. I have one more thing for you. Do you want to do yours really quick? I don't want to leave you off hanging. You're good. Okay. All right, we're going back in there. We just need to get some energy flowing. I hope that you Zoom people could see that okay. Really? Okay. All right, I'm gonna get out of here now. Okay. So I'm gonna be here next week. We've got 4 minutes. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay, so I'll present this really quick. So this is an example of repurposing the B-roll in different ways, okay? Here we go. So one day I was working late, as I do sometimes. And I realized like, this is literally a great opportunity for some B-roll. So I get out, put my camera in the doorway of my bedroom and I'm working on my laptop because sometimes I talk about entrepreneurship, starting your own business, winning capitalism, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to put this in my, get footage of the journey of the process. And so now I can repurpose this in so many ways. So I could record a voiceover and I could be like, oh, well, as an entrepreneur, I do X, Y, and Z things all the time. Do you relate or whatever? So you can do a voiceover. And this is great if you're ever like, oh, I don't have makeup on or whatever, and you want to just still be putting content out there. But I think it's great to show up with no makeup on. Let me see, you could add text on screen. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. I'm not going to get nitty gritty, but just know that if you're in the process of doing this on a regular basis, you're going to be happy because you're going to be scrolling. You're going to find a video that you want to recreate. And you're going to have the time to do it. You're going to go into your content bank and you're going to be able to crank out a reel in like 10 or 20 minutes. And you're going to feel really good about yourself. Here's a shot list. Bonus points, you can also go into ChatGPT and be like, ChatGPT, can you give me a shot list? I'm an e-bike tour operator in Walla Walla. What are some things I should get from my content bank? But this is something, it can literally be this simple. It can be like, sipping my favorite drink. It's just water, but it's still good. Picking something up, placing something on a shelf, right? It can be like, You pick up, you put your tripod right there, it's recording, you walk up, you put a book on the shelf, and then you walk away. And it'll be that simple. You can also look for shot list ideas on Instagram. Or as you're doing your content research, you can be like, oh, that's a really great reel, and all she was doing was standing on a pier. I can do that. Pier, library, winery, whatever. Okay, so in that spreadsheet, there is a list of shot lists. There's the tab, I mean, for shot lists. So if you guys want to go in there, you totally can. Let me see. And hold on, I'm trying to get to the best parts by the time we're leaving. Okay. So I'd like to hear from you guys. We're gonna, every class, we're getting an action step, we're setting a goal, and we're gonna be your accountability buddies. So like Shakira, you can come back and be like, I did the thing. I posted the reel, right? So what's one thing that you can do based on all these things that will just help you make your content creation a little bit easier? So when you leave, when you come back next week, what are you gonna tell me that you did? Let's go with you, Sandy.
Well, for one, I'm gonna post, the bottling crew yesterday in the truck doing the, the assembly line thing.
Yeah,
Because people don't know what that looks like.
yeah,
And then I was gonna show a shot of the food that we cooked.
I love it. I can't wait to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can even send it to me when you're done. Just be like,
Okay.
yeah. What are you gonna do, Andy?
I wanna get that spreadsheet going and get
Yes,
some content.
spreadsheets.
ideas.
Aren't you an engineer by trade?
That's what I used to do.
Yeah, so I think,
I like a good spreadsheet.
cool, yeah.
And it's one thing that even though my wife is not mechanically inclined like me, she and I agree that we both like a good spreadsheet, so I can get her on board with that.
Yeah, I love a good spreadsheet. Okay, do you guys have any action items you'd like to share?
Oh, we're gonna post, on Instagram, a reel, RBG.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm helping.
Yes, you are, better. It's up to you. Just kidding.
Make the dream work, Judy.
That's right. What about you guys? You guys sound like you're really on top of things. Can you do anything better than you're already doing?
Definitely build up some content to have, because I feel like we're
More
always kind of
videos.
rushing to get stuff done.
Yeah.
To try to post, and so having more to do, and more to put together more often.
Yeah.
I think.
And in that spreadsheet, that if you guys go back and get that QR code, if you want, there is a content planning template, so it kind of has like a monthly calendar view, and if you want to plot out a couple posts in there, get organized, I mean, whatever. I don't plan a content calendar, I literally post on the fly every time.
Yeah,
So,
we try to plan to make content like when we manufacture,
oh, yeah,
but then we're trying to manufacture so much for orders. We just get bogged down.
I know, because you're so busy doing your business, it's hard to like, it's like a different hat you gotta put on to be like, okay, I'm a content creator, But you got two of you, right? So you can.
And like, we can take more videos definitely, but I
Oh,
think,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
we're all
to
just
do
like
it.
really awkward in them, like.
Yeah, you could be awkward though, maybe that's just like, hey, at least we're being authentic. People relate. Okay, cool. Shane, do you have an action item that we can check in on you next week?
Content creation. I'm actually going to a show this week, so.
Yes.
I can
Okay,
Get some on location footage.
is this gonna be like Antiques Roadshow where you're like, this is worth this much, or like, oh, I bet this has a really cool story?
Good,
Yeah, cool, okay.
yeah.
It's just Shane's Roadshow.
Right.
Just saying.
I actually had somebody thought we were from, a friend and I, we went out and they thought we were from American Pickers.
Okay, there we go.
And
You could be like, this is why-
Frank, but we were,
You'd be like, this is why we're better than American Pickers. And then you have that keyword of American Pickers and you'll pop up when people search it. Okay, Shakira, what's one thing you can do this week? I can't wait to see what we're gonna celebrate next week for you.
So I'm hoping to post a reel, post a story, and just post a regular schmegular post. So, and just get it live.
Okay,
That's
and
the
if you
goal.
send it to me, I'll give it some love, I'll comment on it or something. I wanna make sure I follow you,
Okay.
so let me know. Yeah,
I will let you know. Thank you.
you betcha. Okay, Sharon, I know you said you were overwhelmed. If you don't have an action step, that's totally fine. Do you have like one takeaway that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna get onto Instagram. I've never been on there, so this is all a new avenue.
Yay.
Yeah. So just look at it.
Yeah,
and
I mean, yeah, I love it. And I'd really encourage you to go in there and like train the algorithm and like type in your hobbies. I did that with my dad. He'd never been on Instagram before. He visited this week and I'm like, Dad, you gotta train your algorithms. I'm like gardening, fly fishing, Alaska, all the things he likes, right? And so then that way at least he's getting fun things. And so now it's like a fun thing for him, not just like, what's all this random political crap coming up? You know, I'm that. Okay. Well, I can't wait to celebrate with you guys next week when I have our last class. And if you guys have any questions, you have my information, I think you can reach out, but we'll see you next week. Okay, good job in class.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, everybody.
I never heard anybody say that.
Say
There's so many things about training your